Well, here's a little bit of news to use to share with you. As you probably know, there's this long-standing discussion about the role of vitamin D and calcium in prevention of cancer. And it's been back and forth. There's epidemiological and associated studies, and it's known that cancer incidence is lower in areas of higher solar exposure and higher in areas of lower solar exposure. So there's a suggested vitamin D component to that. And we've seen some limited intervention trials and some animal work, some in vitro cell biology that all points towards vitamin D and calcium synergistically being chemopreventive in the form of cancer. Well, an intervention trial was just published that explores this, and I think it's very interesting, using 2,000 IUs of vitamin D daily as a supplement, along with 1,500 milligrams of calcium, 500 milligrams given 3 times a day. And there's also obviously a placebo group. And the question is, did you see any difference, or was there any difference seen in cancer incidence in the group after years of supplementation? They point out that the mean serum vitamin D level in this population group that was studied was 32.8 nanograms per mil, which is not in the range of deficient. That would be marginally sufficient, right? We say anything above 30 nanograms per mil is marginally sufficient. So this was not a deficient group. And what they found in the results of the study was that the vitamin D plus calcium group did not reach statistically significant in its reduction of incidence. It had about a 0.7 relative risk factor to the control, which didn't meet the condition of statistical significance. It needed to get down to around a 0.6, rather than what that means is about a 60% or a 40% reduction. However, if you look at different ways of cutting the data, it at least suggestive that certain individuals may have significantly benefited from the calcium vitamin D. There was no sign of adverse effects in people that were taking that dose over the period of intake of the study. But I think it at least led us into a thought that there could be certain cohorts or certain individuals who were more sensitive to and had a higher response rate in the chemoprevention of cancer as a consequence of calcium and vitamin D, which raises this whole question of, do we need to cut data into smaller groups, so we don't just look at aggregate averages anymore? We look at individuals with, say, certain polymorphisms of the vitamin D receptor or certain polymorphisms of the vitamin D synthesizing enzymes, and see if in fact certain genotypes are more susceptible or more advantaged upon supplementation than others. But I at least feel that the study led us in to recognize that there is at least the impression that calcium and vitamin D at the levels that were administered have some therapeutic value in chemoprevention, and now the question is, in what individuals? So we're going from generalized population nutrition, again, back to what you would call nutrigenomically focused individual nutrition.